This system is called an hydroponic system. This is soilless farming, planting without soil. So rather than using soil, we make use of rice hulls and cocoa pits.
Yeah, starting Soilless Farm Lab for me was a way to try to see how to bridge the gap between production and consumption.
Welcome to Soilless Farms, where innovation meets nature in a groundbreaking approach to agriculture. Here, plants thrive without soil, harnessing advanced techniques to grow healthier, more sustainable crops. Hi guys, welcome back to the legendary experience. Today I'm in Soilless Farm in Ogun State. This is a farm that they do what they plant without soil. So they're going to be taking me through the gardens, to the dome. I don't even know the proper what to call it, but they're going to be explaining how it works to me. Like, how do you plant without soil? Stay tuned.
Hi, I'm Farmer Samson Oboli, Team Lead Soilless Farm Lab. Yeah, starting Soilless Farm Lab for me was a way to try to see how to bridge the gap between production and consumption to ensure that we can have a world or a country where food production is not seasonal, because we understand hunger in itself was not seasonal. But this was going to be predicated on using young people, training young people who are able to carry on the mantle of food production across the world. Where Nigeria as a nation is not isolated, today you realize that the African farmer is approximately 60 years old. It means in another 30 years, there will be no young people on the farm to try to ensure food production for the nation. So we wanted to see how can we ensure year-round production, but by focusing on young people who would be able to do this production, as opposed to saying we want to train the older generation to produce year-round.
So this system is called an hydroponic system. This is soilless farming, planting without soil. So rather than using soil, we make use of rice hulls and cocoa pits.
The traditional farming today, for most people, they use things like hoes and cutlass. And if you want to buy the things like tractors and heavy machinery, they do not make sense when you are on small scale. So we needed a technology that would make sense on small scale, but at the same time be attractive to young people, and much more than that, be something that they are able to be proud of, to say, this is what we do. We are farmers, be able to showcase the farms and be proud of the work they are doing beyond just the money they are making.
So this is a net house, and in this net house we've planted tomatoes. These are determinate varieties. This is Jara. It's a semi-determinate variety. Its life cycle is about 6 months. And then in this net house we have sticky cards. These are called sticky cards. We use them to trap insects. So when you enter your greenhouse, you can just check your sticky cards for insects that might have entered into the house. And so these tomatoes have been planted in a grow bag. And in this grow bag, we have rice hulls and cocoa pits. Cocoa pit is to hold the roots of the plant, because these rice hulls, they can't retain water like cocoa pits. So we usually add cocoa pits to it to be able to hold the roots of the plant.
So till date, I think we should have over 20-something thousand young people we have trained. We had something before now called Walk and Learn. And for that, we've had over 30-something editions. Then we have another one called Walk, Learn and Earn. For that, we train 1,000 young people every quarter. In another few days, the 6th cohort of that to be graduating, which would mean 6,000 young people in total in a space of a year and 6 months here. Soilless farming in simple terms is just us removing the soil. And I know there is somebody somewhere that will probably be asking, does Nigeria not have enough land? Why am I going soilless? And the simple answer to that is yes, Nigeria has enough land. But Nigeria does not have enough fertile land, because we need to be able to differentiate land from growing. That's one. Two, even if we had the enough fertile land, not every fertile land is meant for you to use for your agricultural the best, returns on investment. So to make that make sense, I can choose to plant ugu here. But the local farmer can also plant ugu on the open field. When we go to the market, because you have more local farmers than myself, they will determine the market price, which means at the end of the day, I will be running at a loss, not because the system could not grow ugu, but because there are cheaper ways to grow ugu.
So it's been a long day of learning. I'm learning a lot of things about hydroponic. I'm not sure I got the pronunciation well. Hydroponics, guys, hydroponics. And what they do is quite amazing. So behind me is the lettuce plantation. So I'm going to be taking you guys inside and let's get to sit on ourselves.
The plants.
Another option would be I want to grow mango on Soilless. The question is, what will it cost me to set up the Soilless farm? How long will it take that mango to yield? How much more would the Soilless give to me compared to soil? So it can grow every crop, but not every crop is economically viable in Soilless. Right now, we have about 500 of these in the premises, about 500 of these greenhouses. We have a training of 5 days that people can use to learn. We have 3 months. It depends on you. It depends on your background. It depends on your affinity for picking up new things. Then it depends on whether you have access to practice. So when it comes to selling, one of the things we have been able to do, because we produce year-round, we had to add a layer on that called food lock, meaning when our customers come to us, they sign a contract. For 1 year, we don't change the price of the produce. Sit down and learn the knowledge. After you've gotten the knowledge, go back and learn the business. You can be a successful farmer and be poor. So you need to understand the business of what you are trying to do. After that, find a place to intern, regardless of your age. Find a place where they're actually doing it, learn. See how it is done, because in class, there are things they would never teach you. Not because they are stingy, but because it may never occur to them. After you have learned that, have a grasp of your environment, understand your environment. With that, you don't need, who says you must use iron to build a greenhouse? You can use wood, you can use bamboo, you can use regular mosquito net. Yes, the difference is mosquito net will not last as long as an insect net. Bamboo will not last as long as this. But you are in your learning phase. You do not start climbing a ladder from the top, you start from the bottom. So understand the principles. When you have understood those principles, you can now start thinking of how to invest heavily in it. But not that you just throw in money and say, oh, I have £1 billion, I want to start farming. Take soilless farming. The problem with soilless farming, that is a technology, is if you come in with ignorance, it will get you to failure very fast.